Welcome, everyone. I'm Lauren Sanchez, and I'm going to be joined by multi-Grammy nominee Yanni. We're going to be discussing his life's journey and the special things that inspire his music. And for the first time ever, Yanni is going to be answering your questions live. This is so exciting. So get ready to ask Yanni anything. Well, almost anything. Just submit your questions online at yanni.com, and we'll select a few for Yanni to answer live during our broadcast. But let's get to it. He is a self-taught, award-winning composer and keyboardist who has sold over 20 million albums, but I mean, who's counting, Yanni? Please, everyone, welcome Yanni, and thank you so much for joining me and your millions of fans. And I just want to start there. Why did you feel this live webcast was so important to do?
Well, I've never done anything like this, and I love, from the live concerts, I love to have contact with the fans. This is a great way, a different way. I've never done it. I'm looking forward. Hi, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
I start hearing questions live from all over the world. It's like, it touches my heart.
And that says a lot, I think, about you as just an artist, that you really want to connect with your fans, not just sell albums.
You put your finger exactly in the right spot. Yeah, I never wrote an album in order to sell it. I only wrote music, and then it became an album. And I don't follow trends.
Never? You've always been kind of that guy who's always actually not followed the trends and was very different. People couldn't even find a label for you in the beginning.
That's right, and I don't think they have ever found a label for me. I haven't found a label for me, because what I do is music. I just write music. And I think it's a standalone. I think the music that I write, you cannot put it in a category. It's not rock and roll, it's not classical, it's not jazz, it's not Middle Eastern or Mediterranean, and yet it has all of these elements in it.
And that's why you have fans from around the world. I mean, they're not just fans from Miami, or they're not just fans from Europe, they're from around the world. What do you want your fans to take away from this live broadcast today?
Hopefully they will learn a little more about me, even though I feel they know quite a lot if they're fans, because you learn a lot about the composer through the music. A lot of my soul is in the art that I create. I want to learn from them. It's going to be very interesting, the questions. What kind of questions?
I know we've got a lot of questions. Yeah, we have a lot. Okay, let's talk about my favorite thing, and that is your music and your album. It's called Truth of Touch, and I have to say it's absolutely amazing.
Oh, thank you.
It's interesting because when I want to relax, it can relax me, and when I want to feel energized, it energizes me as well. But I'm not the only person who likes this. I have to read this from John Olson of NewAgeWorldMusic.com. With his new album, Truth of Touch, Yanni is convincingly the greatest influential musician of our time.
Wow.
Now, he doesn't stop there. Hold on. And while his exceptional...
I'm blushing.
I know, he actually is blushing. He is. But listen, he goes on, and while his exceptional abilities as a gifted composer and keyboardist by themselves are a valid testament to his universal appeal, when you factor in remarkable musicians by his side and his personal one world, one people vision, the collective inspiration plays tribute to a universal and heartfelt music experience.
Wow.
I mean, that's a love letter to you, I think.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
But but that's how people feel. Even critics, believe it or not, and they don't normally feel like that. You know that.
No, I'm very touched. Those very kind words. Every artist. I think the true test of art is the test of time. How long will it last? And a lot of things that we do nowadays last for a month, a year, 2 years, 3 years, then it's throwaway.
Everything is so ephemeral and disposable, I always say.
Yes, and yet as human beings we have ability to create things that can last for thousands of years. Let's say the Parthenon, for example. It was made 2,500 years ago, and it's just as beautiful today as it was back then. Examples of people all over the world that have succeeded in creating art that stands the test of time. And that's what I'm hoping to do with music. Stand the test of time.
You are doing that, and you've proved that. I mean, you've been playing forever. I mean, you've actually been playing since you were 6 years old.
Yeah. Well, I don't get to decide if my music will stand the test of time. People will decide that, and ultimately time. Time will tell.
And what inspires you?
Life.
Ah, good
Living.
answer. I like that.
Yeah, that's what else? It's just experience. You have to leave yourself open and live and travel and feel and take chances. Don't be afraid. You know, I'm fearless most of the time. It's not like I never felt fear, but I don't dwell on it. I take chances, and then there's something to talk about because things move you.
And you're ever evolving. I mean, how does this album separate itself from the rest of your albums? Because it seems like your music is always changing.
Yeah, this album actually, it's edgy. I just felt, again, I haven't done a pure Yanni album in about 6 or 7 years.
You haven't?
No, I've been traveling and playing, and I've done a lot of experiments with vocal music and different things. And I had a lot to say. It was a perfect time to talk. I had 6 or 7 years of life inside me, and so I came to this studio.
Which is absolutely amazing. I mean, the studio is incredible. Well, he came to his own studio. You know how that works, everyone. Everyone has their own studio, don't they?
I got it. It was very easy to get the studio. It only took me 30 years of hard work.
Oh, that's all? That's easy. I got that. When I get to 30, I'll let you know.
Very good.
Okay, do you have, on this new album, I know this is hard probably for any artist to pinpoint, but do you have a favorite track?
Not really. I love the album.
They're all your babies.
Yes, it's hard to choose. When I record the track, it becomes my favorite track because I just fall in love with a piece of music, and I don't let it go until I finish with it. So it's all I can tell you is I love this album, Truth of Touch. It just came out naturally. I wasn't even trying to make an album, and I had so much fun with it, and I just more defined rhythms than normal, and a little less. I tend to use rhythms that are not familiar in the West in my music. This one is a little more straightforward Western.
Ah, I see. Yes, because that's why everyone has such a hard time putting a label on you, because you use music from around the world. And so us Westerns are a bit more like, where does this come from? What is this? And we can't quite put our finger on it, but we love it.
That's very nice. It's like I've said before, categories in society are very useful because it's really nice to have them. If you're going to buy milk at the grocery store, you go to the dairy section, here's the milk.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But when you try to apply categories to music or to any art form, that's where I got a problem.
Right. Well, they tried to put you in the category of New Age. That was when you first came out. It was this New Age music, a New Age phenomenon. And then it's evolved since then.
Oh, yeah. Yes. I started as an electronic musician. When I started, the New Age didn't exist. It was just synthesizers. So I was being criticized for using electronic instruments because they were saying, oh, those are not real instruments. So how dare you, this is not real music. And then the New Age stuff started. And then now, they don't know what they're talking about. It doesn't really matter.
See? Critics, I told you. But the one thing is people may not know is that you were actually in a rock band when you were younger.
I loved that.
See? Look at you see that smile?
I loved that. I learned a lot from that. I started after I graduated from college. Actually, the last couple of years, probably when I was 20, I started getting into rock and roll bands, and I stayed for about 13 years. Learned about producing, recording in the studio, making recordings a lot out of tune.
You out of tune, but you have perfect pitch. I don't understand. How can anything be out of tune?
Because guitar players don't tune very well. It ain't even, but it was a lot of fun, and it taught me how to be performing live, how to get on stage, how to do a show, a concert, how to keep the audience's attention, how to hit them, how to let them up, how hard, the whole thing is like how you serve it.
So do you read people as you're doing a concert? Like, can you tell what your audience is like the second you hit the stage?
That's a great question. Absolutely.
You can.
I feel them. There's no way you're going to walk onto a stage and have 10,000, 20,000 people focus their attention on you, and you don't feel what they're feeling.
And you don't get nervous?
Yes.
That's good to know. It's good to know you're human. Okay, good. What does it feel like a little bit on stage?
Go back to the nervousness. Just on the way up to the stage is when it really hits you and you get the jolt of adrenaline. It's more excitement. It's not fear, it's an excitement.
Oh, I bet.
But the pleasure that you get out of touching an audience and an audience touching you back, and then you get that vortex that keeps elevating itself. You give them, they give you. You give them more, they give you more. It keeps going, escalating. You reach certain levels of almost ecstasy, which is next to impossible to describe to somebody. You have to feel it. It's just it's like a really incredible high.
Okay, well, maybe that's why you just got done touring. And now, you took a 2-minute break, I think, right?
Yeah.
I think it was about 2 minutes, might have been less. And then you're going back on tour. You leave on Sunday.
Yeah,
Sunday.
I'm looking forward to it. We're starting the United States tour, the North American tour.
Okay, where are you starting? Where's your tour starting?
We're in the Midwest.
In the Midwest. You can go to yanni.com to find out. Well, I'm so excited because I'm definitely going to be there. And you just, I think, have this energy that you love touring and you love bringing the music to your fans.
Yeah, this is, I don't know, touring is very demanding.
It's got to be grueling, right?
It is grueling. It's extremely demanding. And it's kind of almost like you're in a military thing. You're going from place to place to place to place, and you only have so much time. And you have to exercise, you have to eat right stuff, you have to go to bed. You know, it's not like if people thinking you go out every night drinking, having a good time, you're going to last about a week and then you're done. You're toast.
Okay, so I have to ask you, what is your diet on tour? I know that sounds like menial, but people want to know, like, how do you stay in such great shape and you tour?
People want to know?
They do. I want to know.
You guys want to know?
Do you have a special diet when you're on tour?
No, not really. I
just eat well?
I eat well and just watch what I eat. I listen to my body. I was an athlete when I was a kid, so...
Swimmer. You were a world-class swimmer. So did you play any other sports?
Not well.
I like the honesty. Yeah. Okay, as much as I would love to turn this into a one-on-one interview, we have tons of fan questions that have been coming in. So I'm going to start with one of your fans in Peru, Belinda. And she says, you have assembled a multi-ethnic, multinational band. Can you discuss some of the challenges of combining so many different musicians from different cultures?
That is a great question, and that really, this one I can talk for half an hour on, because really the way I ended up with all these musicians, I wasn't looking for musicians from around the world. I was looking for the best musicians for the particular positions that I needed. It just ended up that I ended up with a mini United Nations, because it just so happens that the best violinist in the world, or one of the best ones, is Samvel Yervinian, and he's from Armenia. And when I started working with him, he didn't speak English. So we spoke music. I would say, do, mi, re, fa, mi, so, fa, mi, re, do. You know, I would say the words, and he would know exactly what I'm talking about, and he'd just play it.
The universal language.
Absolutely. And then there's a lot of beautiful things that happen. Every one of these people bring with them their culture, and they bring with them their attitude towards music. Because every one of them is so high, elevated, that they know what music should be like, and they have their opinions. All of them coming together, they teach each other too. So there's a cross-pollination that takes place. You can see the whole band elevating because they teach each other. You know, the Armenian duduk and the Venezuelan flutist, or the Brazilian guitarist, or the Cuban percussionist, or I can just go on and on and on and on. And all that is it's just fire. And I'm in the middle of it. I get to love it.
And you love it. And that should teach us something about our world. I mean, if we could be together like your musicians play music together, we would have a completely different world.
Absolutely. That's my hope.
It's beautiful.